All right, according to a new NBC News poll, Donald Trump remains the frontrunner in the GOP presidential race. This in spite of those controversial comments he made over the weekend about Fox News host Megyn Kelly. And joining me right now for more on this story and all things Trump is John Gizzi, Newsmax chief Washington correspondent. John, as always, great to be with you. You talked about this in your new column that you just published on Friday. After the first GOP debate, you say Donald Trump suffered the most in that debate, but it's unclear how much ground he really lost. Do you think even more ground will be lost because we're looking at some of the early poll numbers coming out now, and he doesn't seem to be taking too much of a hit here?
No, he doesn't, but I would just say that it's going to be a process that continues unless Mr. Trump makes some dramatic changes. Now, even people who did not like some of the remarks he made on Thursday acknowledge that Mr. Trump does tap into a feeling that's always been strong within the Republican Party, as well as among independent, unregistered voters. In other words, a distrust of people who are perceived as establishment politicians. He's an outsider. He's got his own money. He clearly speaks his mind without talking to press advisors or public relations people. Now, that said, what has a lot of people nervous is his refusal to disavow a third-party movement. Ed Rollins, a veteran Republican campaign consultant going back to Ronald Reagan's presidential bids, told me he needs to get that off the table. And besides that, many states have passed loser laws, which means if you lose a nomination of one party, you can't appear on the November ballot as the candidate of another. If Trump simply recognizes this, maybe he can put this as well as those comments behind him. It remains to be seen.
I don't know. We can't imagine him ever doing that. He didn't hesitate to raise his arm when that first question during the debate was thrown at him in that way. And if he does take that threat, as it were, off the table, then to borrow his own word, he would have lost some leverage here in this race.
Well, I mean, I don't know why he should hold himself to a different standard than other candidates who rule it out flatly. I can remember Ronald Reagan in a very close race with President Gerald Ford, and both were asked if they would support the eventual nominee. Without hesitation, they would. This has been true in other campaigns since then. It is something that would bother people who are very active in politics and could be potential Trump supporters. I would suggest that the comments about Megyn Kelly, well, I'm certainly not defending them, are less of a problem than his refusal to disavow bolting the party after he's gone so far to proclaim himself a Republican.
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, that is really got to be the issue that's keeping some in the Republican Party up at night, the fact that Trump will not disavow a third-party run. The comments about Megyn Kelly, that's probably just a passing phase. We're talking about a lot right now, maybe for the next couple of days, but who knows how long that will last. And we'll keep us apprised of everything going on up in Washington, D.C., although I know it's pretty quiet up there with everybody gone for a little summer vacation. John Gizzi, thanks so much for being with us. We know you're not taking any time off. You'll be with us back very soon.
You know it. Thanks for the invitation. I accept.
All right. Good to see you. As always, John Gizzi with the hat on today. A nice little touch there. Make sure you stay tuned. Coming up here on Newsmax TV a little bit later, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal joins Prime host J.D. Hayworth to talk all things 2016. Also, Mary Matlin sits down with our own Steve Malzberg for her take on who really won and lost last week's key GOP debate. Plus this.
So did you see both Republicans? How to describe this experience?
Headlines and punchlines will take you to the intersection of news and comedy right after this.